Let me go to your breaking news story tonight, Sarah Carter, which I think is blockbuster. And in it, you talk about James Comey on Thursday, alluding to another exchange with Loretta Lynch, where she ordered him not to refer, as we know, as an investigation, but as a matter. And he suggested that it smacked of political spin rather than something else. Take us to the next step.
Well, the next step is this. What we know is for months now, lawmakers have been briefed privately by Comey, sometimes in classified situations, and then those lawmakers would then brief other lawmakers on what was discussed. We know that lawmakers were briefed on a meeting that Director Comey, former Director Comey, had with Loretta Lynch, where he confronted her, not just about the tarmac, but about a sensitive piece of communication. It was a piece of communication between two political figures that basically alluded to the fact that Loretta Lynch was going to put the kibosh on any type of investigation against Hillary Clinton. And when he confronted her with that piece of evidence, she basically stared at him, and there was a long period, as he described it to lawmakers, a long period of steely silence. I thought that was really telling. Steely silence. And then she looked up at him and she asked him if there was nothing more he needed to say, then he should turn around and leave the office.
So she is basically saying she's covering for Hillary Clinton, in spite of James Comey, by the way, being very honest in terms of the standard. He even admitted that Hillary's handling was extremely careless. The legal standard is gross negligence.
But yes, and what was really interesting here is that she chose to say nothing. And the reason why he told lawmakers, according to the sources that we spoke with, the reason why he told lawmakers he'd have to talk about it in a classified setting is because of the evidence itself, how that evidence was verified.
And this came up last week when they went into closed session.
Correct. How it was verified and how it was obtained.
Wow.
So apparently this is verifiable information. It's just that the document itself is actually classified.
This is huge. We'll get reaction from Greg and Jay when we get back on this busy breaking news night. All right, as we continue now with Jay Sekulow, Sarah Carter, Greg Jarrett. All right, Jay, I'll go to you first.
Yeah.
You just heard what Sarah Carter just broke on circanews.com. I am stunned, to say the least.
Yeah.
Your reaction?
Well, look, I mean, think about this for a moment. We're now talking about, what I call a faux investigation, a fake investigation, this whole Russian probe situation that's going on. And we now have evidence, and we've had evidence, and James Comey admitted this, that he was told to call something a matter. Or then in this particular case that Sarah was just talking about, he get the steely silence from the Attorney General of the United States.
She's covering for him. Isn't that what she's saying? She's covering for Hillary Clinton. Sarah, is that an accurate description?
She said matter. I mean, that tells you what it is. The FBI investigates. They don't do matters. They investigate.
Sarah, I
want to clarify this.
Yes.
Yeah, what he had was evidence between two political figures that basically said Lynch had agreed to put the kibosh, basically end any investigation or any indictment of Hillary, that she was going to be safe. And when he presented that to Loretta Lynch, she said nothing but asked him to leave. And that was the piece of evidence. Now, how they obtained and verified that evidence is classified because there's a long sequence of how that evidence was verified and the reason why it's classified.
All right, wait a minute. Greg,
that's why
I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead, finish.
Oh, no, that's the only reason why that piece of evidence remained classified and wasn't discussed publicly at the hearing.
Greg, that sounds like cover-up, law-breaking, serious.
Well, if there's any
legal
obstruction of justice, that would be it. If that is true, you have to worry about hearsay, double hearsay, and so forth. My question would be...
But Sarah, don't we have a smoking gun with that before Greg finishes? Isn't there a smoking gun corroboration?
I definitely think it's enough smoke that, if the evidence is there, just like he says, allegedly, this is from lawmakers, senior lawmakers. If that evidence is there, it needs to be followed up on.
Greg.
Well, we'll have to wait and see whether that evidence emerges. My question is, where's James Comey been? For a year, he has a duty under the law, if that happened with Loretta Lynch, the Attorney General, to notify. He obviously can't go to DOJ. So the rules, the law says, you go to Congress. Was this the first time on Thursday that he went to Congress with this evidence and information? If it is, Loretta Lynch may have violated the law, and Comey as well.
Let me